Where did we stop? Huh? Talk to me. Where did we stop? Here. SWOT. We are moving, huh? In the other class, I see you moving. Is here? Ah, the other class we've gone far. Oh God. Thank you so much. New venture. Yeah, new venture. Thank you so much. You said we're done with this. Okay. No, this is not the register. Okay. Where is it? Where is the register? This one? Yes, sir. Okay. So, guys, SWOT analysis is a personal evaluation tool, right? You can use it as a personal evaluation tool. So, there are certain other evaluation tools that can be used as well. For example, counseling and psychological services. Hello, we've started now. You can use SWOT analysis for personal evaluation, right? Okay. Then other evaluation tool that you can utilize as well is counseling, right? Sometimes you look at yourself, you feel down, or let me put it this way, perhaps you feel you will not be able to achieve what you really want to achieve. You can either use a SWOT analysis to evaluate yourself in terms of your strengths, weaknesses, the available opportunities in face of the threat, or you can look for somebody or someone that is knowledgeable in counseling, to advise you. You speak to that person, the person will tell you, the way it is, maybe you, from the look of things, you can be able to do it. Remember when you came here to apply, right? You did your PACE test, didn't you? So thereafter, you went for counseling. So that kind of stuff. Because what we were doing that time is that after your PACE test, then we get the result. Once we discover that what you applied for, based on the PACE outcome, that is not showing that you can be able to do it, then we refer you to uh, that session of guidance and counseling, to advise you in terms of the way forward, right? So it's kind of evaluation tools that can be utilized to evaluate yourself to see or to establish whether you deem fit for such purpose. Then we got some other evaluation tools you can find in the internet. I don't know whether you've seen something like that before in the internet. We've got something of that nature. For example, you've got something like IQ test. You can find that in the internet. To test your IQ, they will give you certain questions to answer. So when you respond to that, they will tell you you got certain IQ level. So it's an evaluation tool, specifically for personal evaluation, right? Personal evaluation for to assess your capabilities. The career guidance as well, it does that, right? So that is another thing that you can be used, or that can be used. I mean. Then credit worthiness. What do we mean by credit worthiness? Credit worthiness. In doing credit worthiness on somebody, The whosoever that is doing it, it could be a financial institution, it could be your creditors. They want to find out how capable you are in paying your debt, right? There are certain people, they are so good. When they need something on credit, they come to you. You would think that that person is an angel. You know, an angel, like an angel, right? Once you give that money, the person will disappear. Most especially when it comes to time of payment, right? I've got a friend of mine those days. This friend of mine was very clever. No matter how sweet you are to him, he doesn't borrow people money. I used to ask, there was a day I was forced to ask him. I said, my friend, you are my best friend, but sometimes when I need money, I have to go and borrow money from some other person. But you got, you don't give. You know what he told me? He laughed. I said, why are you laughing? He said, I'm gonna tell you one thing. He used to call me Doggy, the same name M Square is calling me. He said, Doggy, you know what? He said, let me tell you something. You are my best friend, right? And there are certain aspects in school here. For example, I come to your hostel sometimes if I'm tired to sleep, to take a nap. You give me your notes. Sometimes I'm not in the class, you explain to me. I say you are very vital, important, fundamental to me as far as the success of the studies of him being successful in the study. He said, but let me tell you something. If I decide to be borrowing you money, when it comes to the time to pay, you don't have the money to pay me back. You're gonna be running away from me. You see how clever he was? He said, you're gonna be running away from me. He said, you know what? Who is gonna lose? He said, myself, himself gonna lose. Not only for that side of the finance of not being able to pay, he said, I'm gonna lose you as a friend. He said, I'm gonna lose you. You see, now something that was, or what is the way he put it, something he was trying to use to do good to me, gonna backfire on him. You know, he said, rather, you know what he does? If you say his name was Asle, I said, Asle, can you please borrow me 100 rand? You wanna bring out 10 rand? He said, take for free. Don't pay me back. Don't pay me back. This is don't. I said, Asle, but it's not. I need 100 rand. He said, no, take this. This is what I can afford to give to you. Don't come back. This is yours. No, I don't want. I'm not expecting you to pay me back. Then he got another kind of ideology as well too. He said, when you give somebody money like that, next time that person will not come back to you again. He knows that this guy doesn't give. Then you solve yourself on that problem. Did you see what I mean? So what I'm trying to say is there are certain type of people when you give them money, the time they are taking it, they're gonna be laughing with you. But when it comes to time of payment, oh, it's gonna be like David and Goliath. You know David and Goliath in the Bible? They're gonna be running away from you. So that is why again people get blacklisted in this country. Not only in this country, all over the world. If you got credit and you are unable to pay, right? It affects your credit rating. It means that you are not credit worthy. So these are some of the things that are being considered. You got a business, you apply for a loan, and the loan is not being granted. They will ask you of your ID. Where's your ID? Then you give them. They put it in the system. They call it ITS. Ooh. They will say, we're going to phone you back. Nobody's going to phone you. They will phone you. They will. Now you're going to go home and be wondering, why I'm not getting a call from these people? Because they've seen what you are not seeing. This call. They say your score is bad. But if your score is good, instantly, you don't need to leave there. You're gonna get it there, approve. You understand? They will even send you a message, right? That you are qualified for this. Do you understand what I mean? You know, I've been receiving message from FMB. They say I qualify for 360,000 rand. I say I'm not interested. Did you see? Because they check your credit record. One day yourself, you're going to be qualified for over 1 million, right? But don't just take it. If you got a business to do with it, to transact with it, you can take it. Once you get paid, quickly you pay them back. Take it to do business, then you pay them back. But I got no business I'm going to use it for. Why must I take it? You use it to buy a car, you park your car in the garage, then the interest and the principal, monthly installment, we're going to choke you like this. Right? So we need to be credit worthy, right? By all ramifications, with all ramifications, in all ramifications, I mean, we need to make sure that our credit record is clean. Right? So the following questions are considered when deciding on somebody's credit worthiness. When you want to access the credit worthiness of somebody, you must look at the address in terms of where the person is staying, whether that person have got a fixed address. Proof of address, POA. They call it POA these days. They have perfected it. The first time I saw that in POA, I said, what is POA? Is it the POA that we are keeping here for students? Then later I realized that it's proof of address. It's very important. Because somebody that got no fixed address, that person obviously, from the mere look of things, that person is not a credit worthy. Somebody you don't know where that person is. If he decide to run away with your money, what you gonna do? Right? So, in that sense, the bank or any financial institution where you are seeking financial assistance, they would like to establish that you got a fixed address, stability of uh, address, or stable environment. Then employment. You cannot be unemployed. Then you apply for a loan. How are you gonna pay back? Right? They want to. They, there has to be a sign of you being employed. It could either be full time or part time. An income. You earning income, right? Whether small or big, depending on what you are applying for and the amount you are applying for, right? When you got a personal asset that got value, you stand a chance of being given a loan. In other words, it helps to improve your credit worthiness. You use your asset as a pledge, as a collateral. Excuse? Yeah, you can use it as as a pledge. We call it collateral. Yeah, collateral security. When you got that collateral, right, it helps to improve your credit rating. For example, you got a house worth 1 million, then you need a loan of 200,000. Quickly, they will give to you. If you like, no matter how bad your credit record is, they're gonna give to you. They will set a trap for you. If you don't bring that in, they sell your house. They will attach the loan to your house. You see? So they will get you. They are not worried. Whether your staff, your credit rating is red, they are not worried. You got something to hold against you. Then liabilities. How do you improve your credit worthiness? Or what are the things they consider when deciding somebody's credit worthiness? They will check if that person have already owned a lot of money. If you are already owing, right? For them to add another debt to that, they will feel that you will not be able to pay because it can get to a point whereby it's getting too much for you. And it's true. When you've already owe people money and you still want to borrow more, nobody will like to listen to you if they know that you've already owe money, right? You see? So these are things that are being considered when deciding someone creditor worthiness. Then we talk loan. Let me explain this one to you. Liabilities, right? Liabilities means debt. When your liability is very high, that means you've got a high level of debt. Nobody will like to borrow you money, right? So if you want to improve your credit worthiness, these are the things that you need to work on. At least you have a bank account, you get a legal source of money, be working, then you open a credit account. Were you the one that was saying this last time? That you were trying to buy something you didn't have on credit, you didn't have a credit account. Okay. It was one of my students. And it happened to me as well. For the bank or any financial institution to give you something on credit, they want to know your credit record. So how will you be able to have a credit record? There must be something at least that you taken on credit that you are paying off instrumentally. Because they want to see your responsiveness. Right. If you are a good payer. So once they discover that you are a good payer, yeah. So huh? Where's your bed? Okay. So once they discover that you are a good payer, then they will be rest assured, right, to assist you. Although it's still a risk to them, right? When they discover that you are a good payer, it helps to maximize for them on their part the risk because they see now that you are responsive, right? That is your bed. Okay. So then they will see how responsive you are. So that is what we are talking about, right? Okay. Any question? Credit worthiness. What is the time now? So you mean you're gonna stop here or we proceed? The bus gonna be there 10 past 3 or what? Huh? Oh, you walking? Oh, you can afford to stay here till 4 o'clock. Huh? Identify. No, we're not gonna finish everything. So we are trying to talk here how one could identify entrepreneurial opportunity, right? As we said, we need to be very creative. Somebody that is creative will always be able to come up with something new, right? Will always be in position to make use of something. When you say, okay, to make something out of nothing, right? You can be able to make something out of nothing. When people look at the thing, they say, this is a garbage. It must be thrown away. But somebody that is creative will look at it as a treasure, right? I'm going to show you a movie of a boy that developed a, a radio station. Yeah. From the scrap. You know where he got his material from? From the scrap, from the bin. He put everything. Huh? No, I'm talking about what is the name of this boy now? He's from Sierra Leone. Kevin Doe. They call him Kevin Doe. But let me see if I can show you that movie. So why away your time, right? Okay. Kevin Doe. Center this stuff. No?
so much excited. I felt so good because I want the audience to learn from it, and also to always follow their passion. Our next speaker, is also someone who received an invitation
Mhm.
and she took what he could find and reimagined something that probably didn't need to see. And he's now not only having an impact
Listen to
on
the
his
speech of the
community,
boy.
but having
Yeah.
great resonance around the world. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kelvin Doe, aka DJ Football. I was born on the 26th of October, 1996. I am of South Union. I live in a small community town, called Alaska. I am the youngest in a family of five children. I was raised up single-handedly by my mother. Her resilience and self-belief made it possible for me to be alive. My creative instincts were always present, even as a little kid. At the age of 11, I started picking up scrap electronic items until I said yes on my way because I was so poor to afford it back. And once I got the job that I want, I would go to bed at around 7 p.m. and I would wake up after midnight when everybody was asleep. My mother would wake up most nights to see how the room transform into a small electronic camera. And she would insist that I go back to bed. I ended up losing a kitchen and pizza, a sound amplifier, and a microphone receiver. Putting all of this together, I discovered I have been a musician. I soon became a DJ, and I soon became a DJ focus. DJ focus. And certain people in my
Yes.
and I don't know how to say like this. Sando, you can search for my baby.
Yeah.
At the end of the I started thinking about what I could do that could get advantage system. It came to me that I can take my own education and become a teacher. It was tough and hard. I spent many frustrating nights, trying and failing. But nevertheless, I persevered until I completed the project. Then the started. National television stations had about both high and low for live demonstration. Then an amazing opportunity came to me, and I became the youngest visiting practitioner at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. They designed the front of Douquali morning, Douquali, but it can be a video of my story, which was later presented on YouTube. The latest complete video about more than 4.1 million views. Someone mentioned to me that my video was even more popular than that of President Obama's speech. After the election, which had 2.9 million views. Imagine instead, my story has been carried on which channels around the world, and I am greatly humbled, delighted by this. And if I'm asked to summarize the lessons of my life so far, there is one thing that I would say. Creativity the versa, and be found in places we are one does not expect to find. And perseverance and passion are essential in nurturing that creative ability. So now that you know my own story, I urge you to look for young people with talent, creative ability, and passion in all places. Not just in places you might expect to find. I ask you to support these young people. Just as so many people have supported me. Never know, you might find the next shape.